But you also did a deep dive into nicotine.
Yes.
Which is far more controversial for obvious reasons. What did you come out learning about nicotine after your experience in residency?
I wanted to find all sorts of ways that I can improve cognition, learning, attention while sleep deprived. I didn't want to take stimulants. What I'll say is exercise is probably the best thing you can do under sleep deprived states.
Yeah.
Nicotine, I stumbled across a few very interesting studies, and it's more recently been talked about in its non-smoked forms.
Yes.
So just as a caveat, no one should ever smoke any form of nicotine. Don't vape, don't smoke cigarettes, nothing. I'm talking about patch or gum.
Right. So don't vape, don't smoke.
Don't vape, don't smoke.
Don't pass anything through your lungs as a respirologist.
Exactly.
Right.
So we know from recent meta-analyses and looking at a lot of small studies that nicotine is a stimulant. There's nicotinic acetylcholine receptors all throughout the brain. Probably the reason smokers, have a really hard time quitting and love smoking is because, nicotine binds to these receptors and triggers a cascade of these neurochemicals.
Excitatory effects.
Exactly. Dopamine, serotonin,
GABA,
norepinephrine.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people have been talking, on social media about how it's cognitively enhancing.
Yes.
And so when you look at the meta-analyses, there does seem to be a bit of a consistent effect on improving attention. Knowing that nicotine is a bit cognitively enhancing seems to improve attention. Some researchers did a few studies on some mice. They sleep-deprived mice, and then they gave them nicotine to see what would happen, where they were just measuring levels of chemicals in the brain, BDNF, which a lot of people call miracle crow for the brain, helps improve neurogenesis, dropped quite significantly with sleep deprivation, 24, right. 36 hours. They gave these mice nicotine, and it actually improved quite a bit. So then the next logical study was they took mice, they sleep deprived them for 48 hours, I believe. And then they gave them all sorts of tests. They're making several mistakes. I think they were making up to 4 near the end. But they gave them nicotine and they reverted almost back to normal. All the learning deficits caused by sleep deprivation were reversed.